What is going on, guys? It's Ty here, and today I've got a completely different video than I've ever brought for you. I'm going to be bringing you a detailed guide to split pushing. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So there are three main things that you're going to want to make any split push successful. The number one thing, you're going to want to be playing a champion that's good at taking towers, that's mobile, and can outduel every single person on the other team. The second thing is you're going to want to have a team with some good wave clear so they can hold your towers and stop the enemy from taking your towers while you split push. The third thing you're going to want is to have an enemy team comp that doesn't have super hard engage like Malphite, Zac, Orianna. And you're going to want to have some fairly safe champs on your team that have some mobility. Maybe like an Ezreal AD carrier, Caitlyn, and a champion with some good disengage like Janna. So let's pretend like we just jumped into a match here. We've got Team Blue with Darius in the top lane, Jax in the jungle, Veigar mid, Ezreal AD carry with Janna. So this team is looking pretty good. They've got some pretty good wave clear in Veigar. They have a very safe disengage bot lane with that Ezreal long range and mobility, with the Janna tornado disengages and alt disengage. They have Jax in the jungle who can 1v1 anyone in the game. And they have Darius who's just kind of there. He's along for the ride. The enemy team has some decent wave clear and Lux, so she's going to make it pretty hard if you're trying to siege mid, because you can just insta-kill most waves or get close to killing them. Caitlyn, who's also very good at clearing waves with her Q and her long range, maybe even with the Runaan's, also kills waves very quickly. Braum, very hard to try and tower dive. He can just throw up his shield, CC you. Very hard to dive against, take towers. And they have Swain, who also can lock you up and CC you, and has okay wave clear. And lastly, they have Olaf in the jungle, who is a pretty good duelist, but Jax can 1v1 Olaf at pretty well all stages in the game. So pretend that everyone's just doing their thing, they're laning, time goes on, you get to about 15 minutes into the game. Jax, who's going to be your split pusher, that's you. He's pretty strong right now. He's pretty farmed. He's got a couple items. Nobody can 1v1 him. If you're playing that split pusher, you have to get into the side lanes. You have to get into the side lanes and start pressuring. And you're going to want your team to go in the opposite lane to you. So if you're in the bot lane, you want your team top. If you're in the top lane, you want your team bot. If Baron is on the table or an important dragon is on the table and you want your jungler to be split, he's your split pusher, you can send your jungler to split push in the lane that has the objective. So say if Baron's spawning, you can send your jungler to split push top because he has the smite and he can try and contest. But that's pretty risky because he's going in for a suicide smite steal. In my personal opinion, I'd rather have my group of 4 defending the objective, because if the other team wants to try and start the objective, my team is 4 can try and engage on them and stop the Baron. As the jungler alone, you're not going to be able to stop them from doing the Baron, you just maybe be able to steal it. But with a nice group of 4, you can actually kill them all, because Baron acts as another player, so it makes it so it's a 5v5. And that opens up tons of room for your jungler to split push and take all the towers that he needs to. So let's get into an example of this. So we're going to send our Jax down to the bot lane, and we're going to send the rest of the team to the top lane. So we're going to send Lux up to the top lane. We're going to send the bot lane up to the top lane. Everyone's crowded around the top lane. Olaf is probably the best candidate to be able to 1v1 the Jax. So someone's got to mirror you bot lane. So Olaf is probably going to mirror you in the bot lane. Everybody on your team is moving up. So the first thing you want to do before you start any 1-0-4 split push, which is nobody in the mid lane and everyone else in the side lanes, is make sure that the lane you're not pushing, you make a monster wave. So if you are playing as the blue team, you want to split push, you generally want their minions to be pushed up pretty far. So say this mid tower is still active, you want their minions pushed up to that tower, and you want to set up, kill just enough of their minions so you have a slight advantage, so that your minions, your reinforcements will get there first, and they'll start stockpiling up, and this wave will start auto shoving on its own. The next thing you want to do is make sure that your team has pressure top, and you also you mirror them. You always want to be mirroring your team, and you want to have pressure bottom. So say you're stronger than Olaf, you know you can take this tower. You can just go nuts. You can just keep pushing up. If you're the Jax, you just push right on up. Just keep pushing. push him back. If he tries to defend it, you're stronger than him. You can slowly keep whittling him down or just straight up dive him. The key to split pushing is you have to be stronger than the enemy team to be a threat. This is all well and good if your team has pressure like they do top. Both these towers are up. Your team has pressure. If someone up here tries to leave to roam down, like this Lux, say Lux says, hey, Olaf's getting beaten up, our tower's going down, I'm gonna roam all the way down here and go try and help him out. Well, the thing about that is Lux, you want to make the other team be the one that's moving around the map. The team that's not moving around the map isn't wasting time. The team that's being reactive is the team that's wasting time. Lux wastes like 20 or 30 seconds roaming all the way down here to get to the Olaf. And now that she's down here, it leaves her team susceptible to a 4v3 engage. So if Darius here happens to have some righteous glory or something, he can literally just pop it, rush them, and then they can just turret dive them 4v3, no problem. And they have to either back off completely or they're going to get dove. So they're going to have to give up the tower because Lux went bottom and it's not an even matchup anymore. And all you have to do is the Jax, you identify that Lux went missing. You identify that she's going to probably come in, try and help the Olaf. She might even try and flank you. So you have to have your wards. You have to have wards in places where they might come. So say you're just trying to take this tower, you probably want to have a ward, at least a ward here, and at least probably ideally have a ward right there. And you're going to be able to spot them. And then all you do, oh, Lux is down here. Oh, okay, I'll just back up. And then Lux is like, well, crap, I just roamed all the way down here. All he did was back up, and we just lost our tower, and we lost our ground. So the rest of your team is going to continue the siege. Now they've pushed the enemy back to their tier 2 tower. They're all the way back here now. Lux finally makes it back top. And your team just keeps going. They keep pushing up, and they don't let off the gas. They keep going. They push their minions up. They get the minions all the way up. If I could find the minions here. Red team's minions push back to here. Blue team's minions getting pushed up to siege. And you've got your Darius and your Vigar that are continue to push up the map. So now you're in a position where Lux roamed, opened up the opportunity for your top to take that tower. Bot lane, you either got that tower before the Lux got there, or you got it low and the Olaf low. Let's not forget, in the mid lane, your wave is stacking up, so your minions are naturally going to be pressuring. Now you're going to have a pretty big wave stacked up mid, and they're going to continue to be pressuring. And now that you see everybody's top again, now as the Jax, you say, hey, I'm going to keep going now. Now you clean up the tower. The tower's low, Olaf's low, you chunked him out before leaving. Now you just take that tower, you knock that tower down. So now the enemy team, keep in mind, this is a very high quality presentation of how to split push. There's very good animations. It's a high quality production I'm running here. So now your team is right where you need to be. You've eliminated this tower. You've eliminated this tower potentially, or your minions are currently sieging that tower on their own because you stacked up a monster wave. And you as the Jax or the split pusher just eliminated the bot lane tower because Olaf can't 1v1 you, and you just would dive him if you try to protect it. So you're exactly where you need to be. So now all the enemy team can do, Olaf, he's like, well shit guys, I can't fight him on my own. I just have to keep falling back and try and clear as many waves as I can. So he just falls back. You keep pushing up. You keep pushing right up. You get your minions. Your little bot lane minions here. Their minions, they get pushed back a little bit. They're chilling right here. Your minions are pushed up. Now you just rinse and repeat. You're in the exact same scenario you just were, except you're now sieging the tier 2. And it gets a little bit easier for the other team to defend, but it's still very productive. The map gets bigger as the lanes go out further up the lane. So like here to here is a further distance than here to here. So if the team does try and roam from side to side, it's going to be a little quicker, but you're still going to be able to efficiently take the towers. Tier 3 towers, so you set up in a 104, you can easily, like, they're just free. The tier 3 towers, if you have a stronger split pusher and the enemy team doesn't have a hard engage that can Malphite ult onto your team, followed up with a Zac Orianna ult that can just easily hard engage and outman your team because you're splitting in the bot lane, you'll just be able to take towers for free for days. So now that you're in this position, you do the exact same thing. You start working Olaf. If he tries to defend you, you just kill him. You just straight up kill him. And then if you kill him, you just take the tower. But once again, they're gonna need to send, they can't just give up the towers down here. Right now in the top lane, they're defending 4v4. They can keep clearing the waves. They can stop the siege in the top lane because they're even, it's 4v4. But they can't stop the siege in the bot lane. So either they just keep letting you go and take their base, which they won't do, or maybe they might if they're not very smart, but their only option is to try and send somebody down there and get a quick pick on you, eliminate you, and then move all their units top to try and take out the rest of your team. They have to you force them into making these quick decisions that they're going to make mistakes, they're not going to make the right call, and you force them into wasting time walking back and forth, back and forth. So now they're gonna, Lux or Swain are gonna roam back down, maybe even the Braum. They're gonna roam down and they're gonna try and stop you again. So now you know they've done that. You just back up. All you have to do, you have your vision down, you have a ward up here, you have a ward around here, maybe in this bush, maybe covering here and here. You see them coming and you're like, whatever, you want to do that? I'm just going to chill here. You just walk out of vision like you've left and you just sit there. You don't need to base, you just need to hide where they can't see you. And then they're going to, if they stick around for a minute, then that buys your team more time. So now your team's, again, they're in a 4v5, or sorry, they're in a 4v3. If they stick around trying to defend that tower, they're going to get dove, they're going to die. Darius is going to pop his Righteous Glory, he's going to flash hook somebody. Vigar's going to put down his box. Janna's just going to be the annoying champ she is, and Ezreal's just going to mow down whatever targets he can. And they're going to take that tower. And if it isn't on the first rotation, you'll chip it away, you'll get it on the second one. So Swain's going to walk, say you didn't get it right away, Swain walks top. This tower is at 50% health now. It's very weak. As soon as you see Swain leave, you as the Jax, you're like, okay, let's get back into the action. You move straight up, and you start hammering away at that tower again. Now, Swain stayed top for too long. You eliminated this tower now. Now this tower's dead. And you've moved Olaf all the way back to his inhibitor tower. He's all the way back in the base. And there's nothing, still nothing he can do. He can't do anything. Now you've pushed all the way up. You're right in his face. Your minion's under his tower. You've pretty much probably killed his minion wave. If not, they're way back, and you're pressuring that tower now. Now the enemy team's like, okay, guys, we really gotta crack down, make a decision here. Like, we're about to lose our base. Once you lose the tower, then you're really screwed, because then the person that's a strong split pusher can just walk right in, and the guy doesn't even have a tower to defend him anymore. So the other team's gonna be like, okay, we really gotta stop this. So they might even send 2 people down to try and stop you. Once again, you have to have vision. You get some wards down, you pay attention to the map, you communicate with your team, you listen to their pings when they say someone's missing and tell you to fall back. You listen, you fall back. You see them coming, you fall back. You don't immediately fall back, but you kind of want to bait them. Your goal as a split pusher, the best thing you can do as a split pusher is waste as much of their time as possible, forcing them to just walk around aimlessly back and forth. They won't accomplish anything, and you'll just back up. They won't kill you, you'll still be there, except all they accomplished was they wasted their time. Say they sent their bot lane down to help. Well, now it's 4v2 in the top lane. You know, sure as heck, that tier 2 top tower, it's gone. There's no way it's still alive. Your team, once again, advances up the map. You just advance right up to their towers. And you just keep repeating the process. It's pretty straightforward. It's very effective, and People, especially in low elo, they're going to make the wrong decisions. They're going to waste too much time. They're going to wander around. They're going to get angry. They're likely going to start flaming whoever fed the person that's split pushing. They're going to be like, hey, like, what? Like, you just created this monster. Like, we can't do anything. They're just going to start flaming each other. No one's going to know what to do. People are just going to get killed. It's going to be a huge cluster mess. And you're just going to win the game. So you just got to keep going up. You keep pushing up. Get your Darius in there. Get him in the action. Push up. You get those minions up on the tower. Now, if the bot lane still doesn't come back, then these guys 4v2. Just siege the tower. But they're going to come back because they're going to realize that there's no point in them being bottom because Jax isn't there anymore. So they're going to be like, oh god, we've got to go back now. Now we've got to go all the way back, waste this time. It's getting less and less time that they're taking to get back and forth because it's a shorter distance as you move later into the game. But it's still going to be time that is wasted. Now Jax is just going to go right back up. He's just going to push right back up the lane. He's right back up here in Olaf's face. Olaf, he's got that grin on his face because he's literally taking Jack's lamppost in his ass right now. He's got his mouth open, just in excruciating pain, screaming. You know he's going in dry every time. So now Jax is just hammering away at the tier 3 tower. He's just knocking it down. In the mid lane, we kind of forgot about the mid lane, but there's something going on. They're just scrapping back and forth. Maybe you stacked up enough minions mid that they actually took the tower, and you've moved up. Now your minions are godlike, and they're kind of up here-ish area, and then eventually they're gonna get killed by the tower, and it's gonna start pushing back your way. But by that time, you'll reset it and then go for another split push. After taking all these towers, you will have based at some point, and you just have to reset, get back in position, and go for the fight again. So now you're doing the same thing. Jax has almost killed this tower. Their team has to react. They have to react. They're being reactive. Your team's being proactive. You're forcing them to do what you want them to do. They're going to send their couple more people down to defend. Your team is just going to keep going. They're going to dive them. They're going to make a play. They're going to chip away the tower. They're going to do something, either kill them or just take the tower down in their face, and they're gonna lose the tower. So now this top tower's down. Your team has an open base. They're just gonna walk in. You're gonna take the inhib. The team's gonna be like, oh shit, we're losing your inhib. They're probably gonna send 5 top to defend the inhib, and then you, who just had to peel back, you just peeled back because they sent a whole bunch of people. As soon as you see them leave, you go right back up. You start hammering that inhib. You take that inhib out. They take, once you get your inhib, then they were like, okay, well, we already lost our inhib, so we might as well just collapse as 5 on these people. And then you can either pressure the base, or you can go, then you start pushing the other lane in, and you just repeat the process. The easiest way to do it is to split them up, 1-0-4, no one in the mid lane, and have people in the top, and then in the bot. So if they want to go from lane to lane to help each other, they have to walk twice as far. Well, who's going to get there faster? Someone that has to walk from here to here, or someone that has to walk from here to here? Obviously, if they're in the middle lane, they're going to get wherever they need to go faster because it's central, it's right in the middle. So you want to start out by attacking the side lanes first and making them walk the greatest distance and waste the most time. So now you've taken out their inhib. That's your goal as a split push. You want inhibs. You've taken out that inhib. You've got minions crashing. Barons coming up. Now all you have to do is shove in the lanes with your super minions. Let them push in. If they try and defend the Baron when you're going for it, all you have to do, if they go 5 to try and stop Baron, if you've correctly shoved your lanes up, got both lanes pushing, then you just don't start the Baron. You just wait here. And then your minions will shove into their base and start taking their towers if they don't react. You're constantly trying to make them react to what you're doing. You want to be forcing them to do what you want them to do. You keep going, they react, they either lose their base to supers and try and force fight the Baron, or they're like, hey guys, like, we're gonna lose the Baron, we have to defend the base, we've got to peel back, we have to send at least 1 or 2 people to defend the base. We can't fight them 4v5 at the Baron. We will just leave our jungler there, and we'll just let him try and steal and hope for a miracle. And then the rest of us will just peel out of there and just defend the base and hope that our jungler can steal it. If you play it correctly, the jungler shouldn't steal it, and you should get the Baron. You'll have double super waves, Baroned up, and all you have to do is attack the mid lane. Then you can start either grouping as 5 and shoving down mid with the Baron while they're occupied in both lanes with super minions, or you can just keep sticking to the 1-0-4. Send 4 of your teammates into the mid lane to siege it, and then as the split pusher, you can move into either lane with the super minions, Baron them up, and rush them into the base. Super minions Baroned up are lethal. They'll just wreck anything. So it's not a bad idea that if they're sticking firm trying to hold that, then just like be like, hey, if you want to just chill here and stop my team from sieging, I'll literally walk into your base with super minions Baroned up and just start taking your Nexus towers if you don't want to respect it. And then eventually they'll respect it. Once again, they'll open up an opportunity for your team to be 4 against 3, 4 against 2, and they'll take the tower, and you just keep making them work around the map. See this Lux? You keep running her side to side. She's got to stay in shape to maintain that slim figure. You just keep working her around back and forth, and that's all there is to it. I hope this video helped you out. Make sure to like the video if it did. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.